is in Africa. Sophie, thanks very much indeed for joining us. Again, we've been watching Africa. There's a fear that things will start spiking because we were the last continent really to be affected by this virus. What is the situation at the moment? Should we start at the north of the continent?
Well, indeed, Peter, when you look at countries that have reported today, you have 47 countries. And you know that it's 47 countries because of Botswana. This morning, the president of Botswana, Mokoena, indicating that his country will also go on lockdown to ensure that they fight this virus after they also reported some cases. But let's look at the stats. You'll see that when you look at the map, number of cases on the continent, we have 5,255. In terms of people who have passed on, you have 172, but you also have some glimmer of hope with 371 people who have actually recovered from this problem of the coronavirus. But when you look at regions, let's start in the north, that is North Africa. Egypt is still leading with 656 cases. When you go to Central Africa, you have Cameroon with 142. When you go to East Africa, you have Rwanda with 70 cases. Rwanda yesterday indicating that they didn't register new cases yesterday. Many people believe that it's because of the strong approach in terms of combating this virus, the measures taken by President Paul Kagame, similar to measures taken by countries such as China. It is for that reason, perhaps yesterday, there were no cases that were reported, but they stand at 70 right now in East Africa. When you come to West Africa, you have Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso with 246 cases. And of course, the big tragedy is in the SADC region, where you have South Africa with 1,326. We expect numbers to come later today, and this number is likely to change. South Africa then is still an epicenter, and Johannesburg, of course, an epicenter in South Africa.
Yeah. Sophie, we're seeing that there's various levels of lockdown that are taking place. Zimbabwe going into full lockdown yesterday. Rwanda has been taking action quite intensely in terms of managing their disease. Give us a sense of how countries are managing this, and are we all seeing countries moving towards total lockdowns?
Well, indeed, countries are moving towards total lockdown. When you look at the situation, I think the numbers are scary. And countries are now saying they are going to take stringent measures to ensure that they fight this disease. We expect even those countries that have decided to take more laissez-faire measures, they will strengthen their resolve, but also to ensure that they are at the same level with other countries such as South Africa, where you have a complete lockdown. I think very soon we'll see many countries doing the same. That's what Rwanda has done. That's what South Africa has done. And I think other countries are going to do the same, because as you heard from the World Health Organization yesterday, the only way you can manage the contact or to reduce the spread of the virus is when you implement a full lockdown, so that people are not interacting amongst themselves. You also avoid a situation where you have people gathering in groups.
And here in South Africa, you said that we have this high number, and I guess the first real test of mass testing is taking place in Alexandra, just north of Johannesburg, and this perhaps will give us our first indication of our ability to manage this size of operation in terms of testing.
Well, testing is quite important. The World Health Organization encourages countries to embark on a very strong testing and also tracing of people who are suspected to have this coronavirus. And I think South Africa is doing just that. That's exactly what countries such as Singapore and South Korea have done. It is for that reason their numbers are not as scary as numbers in Europe. And I think South Africa is saying we are going to embark on measures that are likely to help us.
All right, Sophie, we're going to leave it there for the time being. We have quite a lot we still need to cover in this hour, but that's the picture on the continent at this stage, and SADC unfortunately leading the way, particularly through South Africa. Speaking